Welcome to my video where I can help you figure out if you need a game in 10 minutes or less. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, everybody. My name is miahtheking, and the other day I bought a thesaurus, but when I got home and opened it, all the pages were blank. I have no words to describe how angry I am. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today we're taking a look at a game just released on Steam called Grimshire, a dark farming simulator game where all the characters are anthropomorphic creatures of some shape or form. Looks and sounds interesting to me for a while now. I'm very excited to finally be playing this. Developed and published by Acute Owl Studios, released in early access and selling for $15. So what even is this game, and is it even worth it? Well, let's dive into the crux of the matter and find out. Trying to save you some time after all. So, long story short, what you're all here for. Is this going to become your next farming sim addiction? Well, not to toot the game's horn or cut my video short or anything, but yes it is. Now, if you'd like to know why, please stick around. If you don't want to stick around, I understand. All I ask is you hit that like button and comment before you leave. Okay, so basically in this game you play as a customizable animal of your choice. You find yourself in some random village called Grimshire after having narrowly escaped death from something horrible happening in the capital, which is where you're apparently from. Now that you're here, the townsfolk set you up with a farm, and basically to thank them for saving your ass, it's time to perform manual labor free of charge. It's almost like you're a slave. Almost. The only difference is that they don't call you a slave. Anyway, turns out zombies are on the loose, and that's what's causing chaos across the nation. I mean, it's not technically zombies, but you could still kind of declare it almost a zombie apocalypse kind of thing, because basically, for some unknown reason, all the animals are going feral and attacking and eating each other, just like zombies. Oh god, it's Zootopia all over again, someone going about spraying these animals and turning them feral.
For whatever reason, they seem to be reverting back to their primitive savage ways.
Anywho, since the realm is in chaos, it's now up to you, and just you, to provide food for the village. Again, for no pay. And that's basically it. So let's go into the good and the bad, shall we? So first up is the artistic design. From the environment to the characters' portraits to the icons of items, it's all very charming, very well done, and overall conveys the main mood or theme of the game, which is hopelessness and depression. Despite the cutesy characters and the overall cute pixelated graphical design, they somehow managed to utilize darker, more grosser colors to really help depict a kind of depressing, hopeless feel to the game's look, and it works wonders for setting the mood. I absolutely loved it. Next is the sound design. Now, there's not much here since it is a pixelated farming sim game, but okay, I might get some hate for this, but I'll say it. I feel like the sound effects choices here are better than in Stardew Valley. The musical design is also really good here and does a great job of immersing the player into the mood the game is trying to portray at that point in time. No voice acting, but they do offer little squeaks and squawks when they speak. Just overall, I really like the sound design. The ambiance was really good too. You can even hear the difference of the rain from the outside to rain being on the roof whenever you're inside a building. Like, it was really well done. And I never once thought anything sounded out of place, obnoxious, or awfully just bad. For the most part, it was really good. Like I was mentioning, good ambiance and good sound effects depending on what you're doing, chopping trees, farming. Even the water can when you're watering your plants has a really good sound effect. Like, it's really well done. So let's go into the gameplay next. This would normally take me a while to go through, but it's a farming sim game, and if you don't know how to play those, then maybe just go play the godfather of farming sims, Stardew Valley, first, alright? Probably the absolute best entry into the gaming genre. But basically in this game, you need to harvest food of any and all types and deliver it to the storage cave. However, some villagers are carnivores and some are herbivores. Therefore, you have 2 meters of food supply that you need to maintain, one for each. In other words, you can't just farm carrots over and over again, you have to also fish and raise livestock to slaughter. And then there's the spoilage. Things spoil even in that storage cave, so it's best to learn how to preserve food and start mass producing both preserved food and both types as soon as possible. If you don't do this, then people will actually start dying. The villagers that you're getting to know, that you're talking to in the village you're living in, they will actually die. That's a really cool mechanic, which means all of their lives are in your hands. It also allows for some pretty fucked up discrimination if you so choose. For instance, just farm carrots. Don't do anything else, and all the carnivores will die off. But then you'll have less people to feed, less work, and more rewards. But it's obviously more of an evil choice, and right now, I don't know if there are any significant consequences for doing that or not. And despite not really having any dialogue choices in the game, you do get big decisions to make. Here, the town is voting on which project the village should work on, and you get to pick which one to vote for based on which you think would be more helpful. Here's a hint. When you start playing, don't get the herbalist one. Get the one that helps produce more food. Trust me on this one. Anyway, the game comes with everything else you'd expect of a farming sim game like this. Fishing, farming, harvesting wood and stone, mining for ores, though I will admit, the way they changed the mining mechanic in this game compared to every other farming sim was very creative and well thought out. Here, you can actually mine the walls, and if you're not careful, it could collapse on you, forcing you to lose everything you'd gained up to that point. It's actually really interesting and different from most you see in games like this. And of course, the game has specialists in the village that do things for you, like a carpenter to build up your house or to build a barn for you, etc, etc. But honestly, I don't really know how to gain money. It's the number one issue with the game right now, in my opinion. I wasn't joking earlier when I said you're basically doing this like a slave, because you are. Despite how much produce you put into that storage cave, you don't make a dime off of it. So how the hell am I supposed to buy more seeds then? Maybe if they went the same route as Roots of Pacha, where you get a separate in-game currency from donating that allows you to buy more, I'd understand. But these people want me to feed them, and yet they charge me for seeds without paying for produce. I feel like this was a really bad design choice for the game in terms of balancing or just making sense in their own lore, and they should either make it more obvious how you're supposed to make money or give us some sort of voucher we can use for every produce that we donate so we can use that voucher to buy more seeds or something. Otherwise, the town's gonna die off and it'll be their own damn fault because they didn't give their only farmer free seeds. All in all, the gameplay was addictive, intuitive, and well thought out, engaging as well as fun. I lost track of time while playing, and that's typically a good sign of immersive gameplay. And I don't want to spend a lot of time on this because there's not too much to say, but I really enjoyed the writing. I also really love the idea of this, and now, thanks to this game, I'm wondering why no one else thought to do something like this. I mean, I love farming sim games, but I'd love to have one where you actually make an impact on something, or there's actually a severe reason to do what you're doing. Like, imagine Stardew Valley, but there was a war going on, and you had to do your part to aid the war effort somehow. Well, now you don't have to imagine, it's here. This game. Look, see these assholes? The soldiers right there. Yeah, they're here to take food from us, or rather food from me, I guess, to feed their armies to fight the zombies. See what I mean? How cool is this idea? I freaking love it. Oh, and also the overall writing quality was really good too. I should probably not forget to mention that. Next up for the positives I want to talk about, I'm just going to combine them all so I can save you even more time. Aren't I just generous? It has nothing to do with the fact that this video is droning on a bit long. It's the stability tutorial and the price tag, all for one positive point. The game was incredibly stable, super smooth, and only dropped frames on me once, and that was the only issue I saw at all, because it never crashed or froze or was moving slowly or did anything else bad. It all felt really good to play. Then you've got the tutorial. It's short and sweet and to the point, while not being invasive or annoying or too wordy. Teaches you what you need to know, exactly when you need to know it, and it's brief and simple. And then you've got the price tag, and when I think of the quality of the product, the replayability, the length, the depth, and everything else included here, and then I see that it's only asking for $15, I'm stunned. It's too perfectly priced. Actually, you know what? I take that back. The price tag is awful. I'd have paid $20 for this, and I'd pay $25 when it's actually finished. It's just that good in my opinion, and it's worth that much in my opinion. Okay, so finally, that's all I got to say positively about the game. It's enough gushing on that. Now I gotta go into the negatives. But before that, if you're finding this video entertaining, or at the very least informative, then I'd humbly ask you to support the growth of my channel. I'm trying really hard to get to 5,000 subs, and it might not be a lot for a lot of people out there, but it is for me. But if you can't do that, then at least comment, alright? Any engagement at all will do, but most importantly, hit that notification button. These videos are meant to help you, but they can't do their job if you're not notified in time. So hit that button and stay informed, alright? Alright, now we gotta go on to the negatives. So up first for the negatives is the user interface. Now don't get me wrong, it's not awful, but it's not the best either. Now this is important because it controls how the player feels about the game. The UI, when combined with controls, is basically how the player connects to the game physically, to put in a broad kind of way. And if they're messed up, then it's a disconnect between the player and the game. Unfortunately, the UI here is a tad annoying. Again, not the worst I've seen, but it's not great either. It's annoying, it's confusing, and tooltips just pick when they want to show up, I guess, leaving you confused or helpless sometimes. With little to no direction for certain things, quests, locations, or other stuff, you'll frequently find yourself lost, both metaphorically and literally. The next negative goes hand in hand with the last one, the controls. For the most part, they're okay, but half the time it's kind of awkward. Certain buttons do the opposite of what you'd expect, or they simply don't do anything at all, or they're just not there, which would make your life easier. No key binding for the map, no key binding for journal, no key binding for inventory, no key bindings for anything to help with the actual control of the game. Weird directional movement for targeting and using stuff that don't even get me started on how awkward it is to like mine, for instance, but at least for mining, even they know that there's something wrong with it and said something about it in the tutorial, but still I gotta mention it or else I wouldn't be doing my job. Overall, it was just rather awkward and kind of annoying having to do everything because, you know, you'll go to click on something like on that tree, for instance, and then for some reason your guy hits the ground instead. It was just weird and it needs to be better optimized. And last but not least is the balancing. I find it a little bit difficult and hard to manage what the game wants me to manage. I understand it's kind of meant to be difficult in its overall theme, but it still feels a bit much. You want me to feed this whole village without giving me a single tool or giving me any real resources to do so, and I'm not talking about tools like a pickaxe or an axe or a hoe or anything. I meant like stuff for streamlining my farming process. You want me to feed 13 people with 5 seeds? You want me to feed 13 other people without a solid method of gathering meat? This may just be a personal gripe for me, but it feels a little one-sided without a lot of time to really even get you into the swing of things in the game before it starts demanding so much effort from you. But hey, maybe that's just me. But that's all I can really think of to say negatively about the game, and for the most part, that was just personal gripes or nitpicking because none of them are really all that bad. Long story short, this game was great. I was immersed, I was invested, I was interested, I was engaged, and most importantly, I was having fun. It's so nice to see a farming sim game where there's actually a purpose to what you're doing. I know there's a kind of relationship thing here, but I hope there's marriage and the possibility of having kids too. I always love having the option in my game to be able to do that to further immerse myself. Mostly because I have a wife and kids in real life, so I like to recreate this family even in my video games. Is that cheesy? Yes. Do I care? No. Regardless, I hope there's something like that later on down the road, but I was really enjoying the game. What's my recommendation? Well, that should be obvious. Go buy it. Go buy it now. It's super affordable. It's a great concept. It's very well designed as well as intuitive and engaging, and honestly, as far as farming sim games go, I haven't seen one this unique and this fun in a long time. So yes, go buy it. Definitely go support these devs. It's not a ripoff. It's not a waste of your time. It is totally worth it. So stop watching, go buy, go play, have fun. All right? Alright, so that's all the time I got for today, everybody. Thanks so much for watching, with a special thanks to those of you who stuck around till the end. If you have any questions or concerns, please let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you all again on my next adventure. So until then, I bid you all farewell.